Hi everyone, a very good evening to all of you watching this video. I am Manat Sharma from Oliveboard and I'm here with this free rankers batch. So we are basically covering annual report related MCQs, RBI annual report related MCQs. And we have done the first session a few days back. I hope you guys have attended that session. We did around 50 questions at that point of time, and we're going to continue with these annual report questions in today's class as well. I just want you guys to tell me in the comment section whether my audio and video is clear so that we can have the class in a smooth and continuous manner without any network issue. Good evening, Sudarshan and Satya Bharat. Very good evening to all of you. I hope all of you are studying. I hope all of you are preparing for the examination. Right, this free rankers batch is a very positive and plus point for all of you, so you can attend it. Apart from that, if anybody is new over here and you want to connect with me on Telegram, then Mannat Educator is my Telegram handle. You can connect with me on Telegram. Just type Mannat Educator, you will have access to the group. Good evening, John. Good evening, Abhinandan. Very good evening to all of you. Before I begin, if you want to download this YouTube class PDF, you can do it from the Oliveboard app. Just go to the courses section. There's going to be a separate YouTube class PDFs folder. You can download it from here. Chalo, then let's begin with our session today. 50 questions we have already completed. We are on the 51st question. Now, whenever you're going to give me the answers, you're going to write down the number of the question, okay? So that there's no confusion. Now, 51st question. In recent years, the unified payment interface has emerged as a dominant mode of digital transactions in India, supported by innovation and widespread adoption across user segments. What percentage of total digital payment volume did UPI account for in financial year 25? 67.5%, 75.2%, 83.4%, 85.8%, or 89.6%? What is the answer? What percentage of total payment volume did UPI account for? We are seeing that UPI ka use has increased a lot, right? So what is the answer? Abhinandan has given me D as the answer. Atithi says D. What about others? John is saying C. So we have D and C as the answer. Sudarshan is also saying D. Anybody else who would like to answer? Satya is also saying D. Uh, s- uh, Anurag Singh says C. So we have C and D as the answers over here in the comment section. The correct answer is C, 83.4%. Okay, so C is the correct answer. Only Anurag and John gave me the correct answer. Rest all your answers are wrong. 83.4%. Okay, please note it down and learn it. This is the correct answer. Fine. 52nd question. To promote awareness and action around personal finance and responsible money management, RBI observes Financial Literacy Week each year focusing on a unique theme. What was the theme of RBI's Financial Literacy Week for the year 24-25? You have to talk about the theme here. I'm sure you all must be knowing what is the theme. Banking saver for all, women's prosperity, financial independence, invest smartly, or secured future for families. Very basic, you should be knowing about this, है ना? If you've read the report, you would know the theme. What is the answer? 52 A, B, C. So I've got A, B, C as the options. Somebody give me D and E also as the option so that we have diversity of answers over here and कोई तो सही निकल ही जाएगा है ना. 52 B, B, B. Satya, Sudarshan, Anurag, Atithi have given me B as the answer, which is absolutely correct. Women's prosperity is the theme of this Financial Literacy Week, which is focusing on gender inclusive financial awareness. So, what is the theme? Women's prosperity. Okay. To deepen the secondary market for government securities, the RBI opened certain trading platforms to more participants. Which platform was opened to SEBI registered non bank stock brokers during financial year 25? Pravah Portal, Gilt Trade App, RBI Direct, NDSOM, or RBI Retail? What is the answer? The platform opened for SEBI registered non bank stock brokers here. 53rd question. Which Which platform are we talking about over here? Abhinandan is saying E, RBI Retail. Atithi is saying NDSOM. Sudarshan is saying D. 53rd, D and E options I have. What about you, John, Anurag, Satya? What is the answer? John is saying 53D. So the correct answer is D, NDSOM, absolutely correct. So NDSOM was expanded for broader access to market participants. Question number 54. During financial year 25, the central bank adopted a mix of operations to maintain sufficient liquidity in the system and ensure market stability. RBI undertook US dollar INR buy sell swaps, foreign exchange swaps, and open market operations to inject which type of liquidity? Temporary, seasonal, cyclical, tactical, or durable? The central bank or RBI, which type of liquidity did RBI inject? 54th question. Temporary, seasonal, cyclical, tactical, or durable? Yes, Satya, John, Atithi, Sudarshan, Abhinandan. What is the correct answer for this question? Anurag has given me E as the answer. Durable liquidity. John says A. Abhinandan is saying D. So we have E, A, D as the options. Sudarshan is also saying A. Satya is saying E. The correct answer is E, durable. Okay, so these operations aimed at injecting durable liquidity which has lasting impact on systems liquidity position. So what is the answer? Durable liquidity. 55th question. Which, with the increasing demand for fast, secure, and interoperable cross border payment systems, central banks are collaborating through international frameworks to ensure seamless retail transactions across borders. India recently joined one such international initiative involving several ASEAN nations. Which multilateral initiative did Reserve Bank of India join to enhance instant cross border retail payments with ASEAN countries? Project Sprint, Cross Pay Initiative, ASEAN Swift Link, Project Nexus, Bharat ASEAN Pay Network. Which project? All of you are saying D, which is absolutely correct. We have this Project Nexus. Okay, for instant cross border retail payments with ASEAN countries, very good. India's external sector indicators showed resilience despite global uncertainties. As of March end 2025, what was the size of India's forex reserves? $680.5 billion, $658.9 billion, $642.5 billion, $672.1 billion, or $668.3 billion. Now, we have done this question before as well. If you've attended the previous class, I think this question was before also, right? 56, all of you are saying E, which is absolutely correct. So as of March end 2025, it was 668.3 billion, right? What is the current as of now, as of August 2025? What is the size of India's foreign exchange reserves? Anyone? What is the size of the reserves as of now, as of August 2025? We've done this in the live mint analysis if anyone of you is attending that class. Not 700 plus, Atithi. Still not touched 700 though. है ना? Anyone else? Almost मतलब touched. हाँ. 700, 688.9 as far as I read it was $688.9 billion, almost touched 700 billion, है ना? I saw $688.9 billion. हाँ, John is right. Anyway, please check it out. As of August, as of September, you can check it out, right? So that you have the latest data also. So, to enhance transparency in inflation monitoring, the RBI has improved its data dissemination mechanisms. CPI diffusion indices are now made available through which platform? CAMS, Swayam Dashboard, RBI e Bulletin, CIMS, CPI MIS. 57th question. So the answer is D and not E. ठीक है, D है. The Centralized Information Management System (CIMS) is used to publish granular inflation related data like CPI diffusion indices. ठीक है, so the answer is D. With the pilot of the digital rupee gaining traction, the RBI expanded the participant base in its wholesale segment. How many standalone primary dealers were added to the e-rupee wholesale pilot project? 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6? What is the answer? Question number 58. How many standalone primary dealers were added to e-rupee wholesale pilot project? 58th question. Anurag has given me E as the answer. Anybody else? Abhinandan, Skip. What about Atithi, John, Satya, Sudarshan? The answer is 4. So, 4 standalone primary dealers were added to increase participation and test the operational readiness of digital currency usage in wholesale transactions. So, the answer is 4 SPDs. Okay. One of the key developments in the government securities market was the behavior of the yield curve. What happened to the sovereign yield curve during financial year 25? It flattened, steepened, inverted, became U shaped, or remained unchanged. Question number 59. What happened to the sovereign yield curve during financial year 25? 59th question. Anybody would like to answer? So the answer is steepened. So the curve steepened, reflecting rising long-term yields due to inflation expectations and supply factor. So it's steepened. Yes, Anurag. The answer is B, steepened. Okay. 60th question. The capital adequacy of scheduled commercial banks remained above the regulatory norm during financial year 25. What was the capital to risk weighted asset ratio for scheduled commercial banks in financial year 25? Capital to risk weighted asset ratio. 15.2%, 16.1%, 18%, 17.3%, or 16.8%? 60th question. Atithi has given me B as the answer. Abhinandan E, John D. The correct answer is E, 16.8%. So Abhinandan is absolutely correct. It is 16.8%. Okay. Not 16.1%, not 17.3%. The answer is 16.8%, which is above the minimum requirement. But I think it's 17.3. I will have to check. I think it's 17.3 and not 16.8. I will have to check this. Okay. Just a second. Let me check because I think something is wrong over here. It is 17.3% only. ठीक है? So it is mostly 17.3%, but I will have to check this question. ठीक है? है ना? So it is D only, right? So most probably it is D, but I will check it again after the class. Okay? So here the answer is written wrong. Anyway, let's move forward. 61st question. To ensure robust defenses against cyber risks, the central bank has implemented governance reviews in critical areas. What type of review was launched by RBI in financial year 25 to assess cyber security governance among regulated entities? Functional review, thematic review, comprehensive risk review, tactical supervision, or operational risk evaluation? Question number 61. Abhinandan C. John has given me C as the answer. Okay, I just checked in the annual report. The answer is not 17.5%. The answer is, or 17.3%, it is 16.8% only. That's absolutely correct. Okay, guys. So remember this. The answer is 16.8% only for the CRAR of scheduled commercial banks. 16.8% as mentioned in the annual report. Okay, in other sources it has been mentioned 17.5, 17.3, but you have to go according to the annual report, which is 16.8%. Okay, keep this in mind. So this answer is thematic review. C. Abhinandan and John gave me C as the answer. So it is thematic review, not comprehensive risk review. RBI undertook a thematic review focused specifically on cyber security governance. Okay. 62nd question. While the number of frauds reported in the banking system declined, the financial impact of these frauds told a different story. What was the trend in the number of frauds versus the amount involved in financial year 25? Both declined, number increased, amount declined. Both increased, number declined, amount increased. Number and amount remained same. What is the right answer for 62nd question? Anurag, D, John, Abhinandan, Atithi, Sudarshan. What is the answer? Satya, what is the answer? D is absolutely correct. The number declined but amount increased. 63rd question. NBFCs continue to grow in systemic importance, prompting the regulator to strengthen oversight mechanisms. What aspect of operations were large NBFCs specifically advised by RBI to strengthen during financial year 25? Asset liability management, liquidity risk management, credit underwriting standards, profitability metrics, loan recovery practices. 63rd question. What is the answer for question number 63? What aspect of operations were large NBFCs specifically advised by RBI to strengthen during financial year 25? Anyone? John, Abhinandan, Anurag, what is the answer? Atithi. B is not the correct answer, Anurag. The answer is asset liability management. So RBI emphasized better ALM frameworks, asset liability management frameworks, to ensure long-term financial stability of large NBFCs. Okay, so not B, John, Anurag. The answer is A. The digital lending ecosystem has seen exponential growth, raising concerns over governance, data privacy, and customer protection. Which category of entities came under stricter regulatory supervision from RBI in financial year 25? Digital payment aggregators, online NBFCs, blockchain firms, digital lending apps, or peer to peer lenders? 64th question. Which category of entities came under strict regulatory supervision from RBI in financial year 25? I want quick answers, all of you. You won't get so much time in your exam. Okay. Abhinandan has given me D as the answer. John says D, which is absolutely correct. Digital lending apps. The Reserve Bank of India follows a structured framework for monitoring the health of supervised entities based on risk profiling. Which supervisory framework continued to guide RBI's risk based supervision approach? FinReg, Spark, CARES, Risk Map, or Safeguard? 65th question. Anybody who would like to answer? Which supervisory framework continued to guide RBI's risk based supervision approach? The answer is B, Spark, Supervisory Program for Assessment of Risk and Capital. This remained the key framework. So, Anurag, yes, B is the correct answer. UPI Lite was introduced to enable small value payments seamlessly without internet connectivity, promoting micro-transactions across the country. What are the revised limits for per transaction and per wallet in UPI Lite as per financial year 25? 500 to rupees 2000, 1000 to 5000, 2000 to 10,000, 1500 to 3000, or 750 to 4000? A, B, C, D, or E? 66th question. B. The answer is B, 1000 and 5000. Absolutely correct. In order to enhance self discipline within sectors, RBI strengthened the operating rules for representative industry bodies. In financial year 25, the RBI streamlined the recognition and governance rules for which type of entities? Regulatory think tanks, microfinance networks, self regulatory organizations, SROs, asset management firms, rating agencies. 67th question. 67th question. What is the answer? Anurag and John are saying B, which is not correct. It is SRO, self regulatory organizations. Okay, don't get this wrong next time. To streamline India's gold monetization framework, the government announced significant structural changes in March 2025. One major reform involved discontinuing certain deposit components under the gold monetization scheme. Which deposit components were discontinued under the gold monetization scheme effective March 26, 2025? I have done a separate session on this also. Short term and medium term deposits, only short term deposits, medium term and long term deposits, all types of deposits, or only long term deposits? Very easy question. You should be giving me the correct answer for question number 68. Anurag says B. Anybody else? The correct answer is C, medium term and long term government deposits. Okay, not short term, but medium term and long term. Okay, fine. Okay, 68 John and Abhinandan gave me. Achha, John gave me C as the answer, and Baki gave me B, Anurag and Abhinandan. है ना? So, medium term and long term government deposits. John got it right. 69th question. To improve retail participation in government securities, RBI launched a mobile application offering seamless investment across markets. It supports single sign on and simplifies access to both primary and secondary government security markets. What is the name of the mobile application launched by RBI on 28th May 2024 to promote retail investments in government securities? RBI Invest, eGilt Direct, Bharat Bonds app, RBI Direct, or Government Securities Portal? GSEC portal. Very, very easy question again. 69th. Abhinandan is saying eGilt Direct. John, Anurag, what about you? What about others? The correct answer is retail direct RBI direct scheme. Okay, retail investments, retail direct scheme. Okay, this is the correct answer. D, RBI direct, not E, not B. Considering the frequent use of digital payments for high value transactions like taxes, regulators have revised transaction thresholds to accommodate user needs. What is the new limit for direct and indirect tax payments through UPI? 2 lakh, 3 lakh, 5 lakh, 1.5 lakh, or 4 lakh? 70th question. Mm. 70 C. The answer is C, 5 lakh. Absolutely correct. Okay, very good. Ha, C is the correct answer. Right, Abhinandan, John, Anurag, absolutely correct. Based on a detailed analysis of states' expenditure data from 2019 to 20 to 21-22, a group under the RBI recommended a revised aggregate limit to help manage temporary mismatches in state finances. What was the revised aggregate ways advances limit for states as recommended by the group based on the Sudhir Srivastav committee methodology? 60,118 crore, 55,314 crore, 50,000 crore, 58,762 crore, 62,400 crore. 71st question. So we have another John here. है ना? So 71st question A. Both the Johns are saying A. Anurag is also saying A. Abhinandan says A, which is absolutely correct. ठीक है? 60,118 crore. 72nd question. India's digital infrastructure continues to evolve rapidly, especially in payment systems. The Reserve Bank reported significant growth in transaction volumes under its payment and settlement systems in financial year 25. India's payment and settlement systems witnessed a growth of what percentage in transaction volume during financial year 25? 28.3%, 31.5%, 34.8%, 36.2%, or 39%. 72nd question. B, C, John is saying D, Anurag is saying C. The correct answer is C, 34.8. Absolutely correct, Anurag, 34.8%. To modernize its currency management ecosystem, the Reserve Bank has undertaken a project integrating technology, automation, and process innovation to ensure more efficient distribution and storage of currency across India. What is the name of RBI's project aimed at redesigning and modernizing currency management architecture through network optimization and business process re engineering? Digi Mudra, Samudra, Swachh Currency, Bhartiya Notes Infra, or Suraksha Mudra? 73rd. Anurag has given me B as the answer, Samudra, which is definitely the correct answer. We did this in the previous class also. One of the options were there, and one of the questions were related to Samudra. Okay, so next question. The performance of digital payments is often assessed using specific indices to track penetration and adoption across platforms and users. What was the value of digital payments index as of September 2024? 465.30, 418.77, 399.80, 427.91, or 390.64? Abhinandan has given me B as the answer. Acha, A. Anurag, D. Anybody else who would like to answer? The answer is A, 465.30. Absolutely correct, Abhinandan. It is 465.30. ठीक है? You can see here 465.3. This is the digital payment index. Okay. The asset side of RBI's balance sheet reflects its holdings in foreign assets, domestic investments, loans, and other instruments. As of March 31, 2025, one category stood out as the single largest contributor to RBI's asset base. Which of the following was the largest asset component on RBI's balance sheet for financial year 24-25? Loans and advances, gold, investments, domestic, investments, foreign, or other assets? 75th question. Anybody? B, which is not the correct answer. The answer is D, investments foreign. See, under assets of issue department, investments foreign stood at 34 lakh 50,960.74 crore, making it the single largest asset item on the RBI's balance sheet for financial year 25. So, what is your answer? Foreign investments. Okay, the answer is D and not B. Okay. 76th question. The Reserve Bank of India's balance sheet provides insights into the scale and structure of its financial operations, including investments and reserve provisioning. For financial year 24-25, one specific item constituted the largest portion of balance sheet, which is the following was the largest component on RBI's balance sheet as of March 31, 2025. Notes issued, deposits, contingency fund, investments which are domestic or foreign investments. 76th. Largest components on RBI's balance sheet as of 31st March 2025. The answer is A. Here we are not asking about the asset. It is not the largest asset component is E. Okay, asset component is E, but we're talking about the largest component on RBI's balance sheet. Okay, so it is A. Notes issued as per balance sheet under the liabilities of issue department stood at this much crores. Okay. Okay, and the highest among all entries on the balance sheet. तो पहले वाला था asset. If you see here the question, largest asset component was foreign investments. But if they're normally asking you largest component, it is notes issued. ठीक है? Okay, I hope this is clear. Abhinandan, Anurag, John, all of you. 77th question. To enhance financial inclusion through voice based digital solutions, certain transaction limits were extended for broader reach and usability. What is the revised limit of UPI 123 Pay in financial year 25? 5,000, 7,500, 10,000, 6,000, or 8,000? 77C, Anurag is saying. 77A, John. C is the correct answer. Anurag and Abhinandan have given me the correct answer. It is 10,000 and not 7,500. Okay? Okay, John? To promote regional payment system integration and fast cross border remittances, India joined a multilateral initiative to connect with ASEAN nations. Which countries are part of Project Nexus initiative along with India? Indonesia, Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, Philippines, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Nepal, Bhutan, Brunei, Myanmar, Vietnam, Thailand, Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, and Indonesia. 78th question. Nurag has given me B as the answer. Abhinandan says B. Anybody else? The answer is B. Absolutely correct, all of you. Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, and Philippines. For improved access to economic indicators and time series financial data, RBI recently introduced a mobile based solution tailored for research and analytics. What is the name of the mobile application that offers access to over 11,000 macro financial data series? RBI Now, Bharat Stats, RBI Stats, RBI Data, RBI FinOne. Which is the mobile application? 79th question, C, D. The right answer is D, RBI Data App. Okay? The answer is D. RBI is modernizing its reporting framework to facilitate automation and real time monitoring. What is the RBI's data reporting upgrade method under this initiative? Blockchain based reporting, SDMX based data collection, decentralized data uploads, AI enabled dashboards, cloud storage linked portals. 80th question. John, Abhinandan, Anurag. The answer to this question is B. Very good, John. It is SDMX based data collection. Not E, Anurag, it is SDMX based data collection. Okay? 81st question. RBI's risk governance model aims to identify, monitor, and mitigate operational and strategic risks at an enterprise level. What is the foundational model for RBI's enterprise risk management framework? Twin Peak model, Basel 3 pillar framework, 4-layer supervision model, 3 lines of defense model, institutional risk segregation system. 81st. Which is the foundational model for RBI's Enterprise Risk Management Framework, ERM framework? ECB, the answer is D. So ECB में से कुछ भी नहीं है. The answer is 3 lines of defense model. ठीक है? So D is the correct answer. Not A, not B, not C, not E. Okay? चलिए. With growing penetration of UPI in Tier 2 and rural markets, new functionalities have been added to enhance the user experience and support physical banking needs. What interoperable facility was enabled through UPI starting June 2024? ATM withdrawals, mutual fund purchases, Aadhaar seeding services, NPS contributions, cash deposit facility. 82nd question. What interoperable facility was enabled through UPI starting 2024 June? 82nd, you are saying C, which is not correct. The answer is cash deposit facility. E is the correct answer. Cash deposit facility. 83rd question. The Reserve Bank follows a structured enterprise wide risk management framework to ensure proactive risk identification and mitigation. Which department forms the second line of defense in the three-tier risk management framework of the RBI? Department of Supervision, Internal Audit Department, Risk Monitoring Department, Department of Financial Markets Operations, Cyber Security and Resilience Division. Which department forms the second line of defense in the three-tier risk management framework of RBI? Anyone? John, Anurag, Abhinandan? The answer to this question is Risk Monitoring Department, RMD. ठीक है? Risk Monitoring Department, not Department of Supervision, Abhinandan. It is Risk Monitoring Department. Okay? 84th question. As per RBI's surplus distribution policy, certain conditions must be fulfilled for transferring surplus to the government. What happens when the available realized equity falls below the lower bound of its requirement? No surplus is transferred to the government, a special provision is created, surplus is transferred with a delay, government provides matching equity, interest on contingency fund is reduced. A, B, C, D, or E, what's the answer? What happens when available realized equity falls below the lower bound of its requirement? 84A you are saying, which is absolutely correct. No surplus is transferred to the government. Right. ठीक है? 85th question. In line with its broader risk awareness strategy, RBI has institutionalized a special week to spread the culture of risk consciousness. What is the name of the RBI initiative aimed at propagating risk awareness among its staff? Risk Education Week, Risk Awareness Week, a Financial Risk Awareness Week, Vigilance and Risk Week, Financial Literacy and Risk Management Week. Which week are we talking about over here? Very easy question. For propagating risk awareness. 85th question. C, D, the correct answer is B, Risk Awareness Week. Yeah, direct question, है ना? The RBI's income and expenditure statements culminate in a yearly surplus that contributes to fiscal space for the government. What was the overall surplus reported by RBI for financial year 24-25? 2,45,831.45 crore, 2,68,590.07 crore, 2,31,350 crore, 2,69,900.21 crore, 2,53,407.18 crore. 86th question. B is absolutely the correct answer, Anurag. It is 2,68,590.07 crore. The Risk Awareness Week initiative was started to embed a risk conscious culture in the Reserve Bank of India. How frequently is the RAW now proposed to be held? Quarterly, every 2 years, annually, once in 3 years, or once in 5 years? 87. John has given me C as the answer, which is absolutely correct. So, annually, this is going to be held. Okay. Anurag, C, right. Abhinandan, not A, not quarterly, but annually. Okay. 88th question. The RBI maintains specific buffers to manage operational and market risks. Under the surplus distribution policy, any available realized equity in excess of required realized equity may be deposited in the fiscal deficit reserve, retained as permanent capital reserve, used to fund infrastructure development, shifted to asset development fund, written back from contingency fund to income. 88th question. John has given me A as the answer. What about others? A is not the correct answer. It is E, written back from contingency fund to income. ठीक है? 89th question. During financial year 25, the RBI reported a notable increase in its gross income, reflecting higher earnings from various financial activities. By what percentage did RBI's income increase in financial year 25? 19.68%, 20.81%, 22.77%, 24.25%, or 21.39%? 89th question. What is the answer to this question? 89th. The answer is 22.77%. Okay. Chaliye. 90th question. The Reserve Bank of India submits its annual report each year as a part of its statutory responsibility. This report provides a detailed review of macroeconomic trends and operational highlights of the central bank. Under which section of RBI Act is the annual report submitted to the central government? Which section? Section 48(1), 52(3), 35 clause 2, 53 clause 2, or 49 clause 4? Very easy question again. What is the right answer? 90th question, D, B, A. The answer is D. Section 53 clause 2. Okay? It is section 53 clause 2. Remember that. Okay? The answer is D. Anurag has given me the correct answer. Not B. B or D में mostly confusion होती है. Right? It is not B. It is 53 clause 2. Okay? 91st question. To promote regulatory digitalization and transparency, the Reserve Bank of India has been recognized for excellence in digital innovation across several internal and external systems. Which RBI initiatives jointly received the Digital Transformation Award? E-Kuber and E-Receipts, Daksh and UPI 123 Pay, Pravah and Sarthi, Bharat Pay and DigiPay, CIMS and DPSS. 91C, which is absolutely correct, Pravah and Sarthi. Provisioning buffers are critical to safeguard against potential credit losses. What was the provision coverage ratio of scheduled commercial banks as of financial year 25? 71.4%, 72.1%, 73.2%, 74%, or 75.5%? 92nd question. What is the answer? The answer is C, 73.2%. So PCR stood at 73.2%, reflecting a cautious provisioning stance despite lower NPAs. Next question. The asset side of RBI's balance sheet saw a major expansion contributed primarily by a surge in one key reserve component. What led to the significant increase on the asset side of the balance sheet in financial year 25? Gold, loans to government, domestic investments, foreign exchange reserves, or other assets? Hanji, what is the answer for question number 93? C, B, A. The answer is gold. Okay, C is the correct answer. 93rd question answer is A, sorry, gold. The answer is gold. A is the correct answer. ठीक है? Gold. Right. So you can see over here gold, maximum deposits. Okay. 94th question. The Asset Development Fund is a provisioning reserve for internal capital projects and infrastructure investments by the central bank. What amount was provisioned by RBI towards Asset Development Fund in financial year 25? 0%, 5%, 10%, 15%, or 20%? What percentage? provisioned by the RBI towards asset development fund? The answer to this question is A, 0%. Not E, it is 0%. Not D, not E. The answer is 0%. Okay. 95th question. RBI's annual surplus reflects year on year change depending on market operations, interest, income, and provisioning. What was the percentage increase in overall surplus reported for financial year 25 compared to the previous year? 27.37%, 25.11%, 22.94%, 28.75%, or 24.62%? Question number 95. Please mention the number of the question so that I don't get confused. You know that you answered which question. Anybody for this answer? Anybody for this question? 95th question. So your answer is A, 27.37%. Okay. Not C, Anurag, not C, John. The answer is 27.3% A. Okay. 96th question. Public financial institutions like RBI follow specific accounting principles to ensure transparency in income and expenditure reporting. While most transactions are recorded on an accrual basis, certain income streams are treated differently due to their inherent uncertainty. Which of the following is not recognized on an accrual basis in the RBI's revenue recognition policy and is instead accounted for only when there is certainty of realization? Is it interest income on government securities? Is it penal interest charged from bank, dividend income from subsidiaries, income from forex transactions, or fee income from banking services? 96D, 96B, B. The answer is B. Penal interest charged from banks. Very good. All those give me B as the answer. Absolutely correct. So, income and expenditure are recognized on accrual basis except penal interest charged from banks, which is accounted for only when there is certainty of realization. Okay. Chalo, 97th question. Accounting policies for fixed assets often vary based on value thresholds, asset categories, and usability. In RBI's financial reporting practices, a specific rule applies to the treatment of low value assets, particularly excluding certain types of electronics. According to RBI's accounting policy, which of the following best describes how fixed assets other than land and buildings are treated when their cost is up to 1 lakh? They are depreciated over 5 years using straight line method. They are capitalized and depreciated as per Companies Act 2013. They are charged to income in the year of acquisition except for laptops and similar electronics. They are amortized over their estimated useful life excluding assets used for IT purposes. They are added to the revaluation reserve and marked to market quarterly. 97th question. You guys have given me B as the answer or still not given me the answer? The answer is C. They are charged to income in the year of acquisition, except for laptops and similar electronics. So, C is the answer for this question. Okay. So, that is all from my side, everyone. If you guys want to connect with me beyond these sessions, then Mannat Educator is my Telegram handle. Okay, you can connect with me over here. Okay, and so we've completed a lot of questions, approximately 100 questions from your annual report. I hope this session was helpful for all of you. If you guys are preparing for RBI Grade B, you can join this revision batch wherein you will have 10 QRE practice classes, 8 PIB plus RBI circular master classes, 35 high value GA MCQ sessions, and 20 phase 1 mocks plus magazines. You can enroll if you want. Okay, so thank you so much, everyone. That is all from my side. If there's any doubt, you can ask me in the comment section. Otherwise, we are going to end the session over here. I will see you all in my next class. All right. Bye bye.